Good evening and welcome again to another night of lacrosse in beautiful Orangeville, Ontario, where your Northmen set to take on the Six Nation Arrows in Game 4 of the Ontario Junior A Lacrosse Finals, Round 1. Last night, the Six Nations Arrows took a commanding 2-1 lead over the Northmen. The Northmen fought back after a 6-1 first period to come back to make it a bit of a game, but Six Nations was proved to be too much towards the end and took the game home 14-9. Around the league last night as well, Kitchener beat Oakville 13-8. Burlington was trounced by St. Catharines 14-4, and Whitby took care of Brampton easily 14-7. Pivotal game here in the series for Orangeville versus Six Nations, as they'll leave this game here tonight either down 3-1 or tied 2-2 heading back to Six Nations on Saturday. I'm Matt Marshallton, better known as Skip, alongside my partner in crime, cameraman Jim. And after the night off last night, we're back in action with you here, and we're glad that if you couldn't make it down to the arena, you could join us here on the broadcast. Perret and Campbell look to be facing off here as they've done so often in this series. Face-offs pretty even both ways, at times both teams dominating, but it seems to come out even in the wash. Without further ado, here we go as Game 4 gets underway. Loose ball at mid-floor, both teams finding it. The ball ends up on the way back to Downey, and he'll bat it out to Ron. Ron legs it up the floor to half. Gets it over to Matthews. Ron will exchange for an offensive player, which is Garen Jennings. Kruger with it now at top. Over to Sanderson. Sanderson heralds the surveys. He's going to shoot one, and that's off the leg of Tyden Redlick, and looked like it was going to squeak in, but Redlick quickly turned around and stopped that from crossing the line. Here's Rivera now. Big game last night he had. A little quiet in the first two games, but in Game 3, he had himself a night. Over now to Kogan. Kogan shoots far side. That's off the bar, and Lickers is able to gather the offensive rebound. John Hill back from a 2-game suspension. Over to Rivera. He gets it down to Kogan again. Squire working with Rivera and Kogan on the left side, or excuse me, right side, and now over to the weak side. Up to Lickers. Lickers shoots, and that misses the net wide. The loose ball comes out to half with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Squire will gather it. Squire shoots from the outside. A nice twister that ends up beating goaltender Cole Downey 5-hole, and we have our first goal of the evening. And in the Aquas St. Judy free replay here, we see the ball just squeaks out up to Squire, and he's uncontested here up into the dotted line area, and you got to wonder if Downey wasn't screened a little bit there by his own man, but nonetheless, the Six Nation Arrows are off to a 1-0 lead here, less than 2 minutes in. Northmen win the faceoff. Sanderson gets it over here to Costigan. Costigan, funny bounce off the board. He misses that. Messier unable to gather the loose ball, and it'll be Six Nations Arrows' turn once again. Jimerson with it on the near side. He's going to hand out to Rivera. Rivera across there to Hamill. Hamill, an outstanding player here in this series so far. What else can he have? Good defense there by Evan Miller. Over to Squire. Squire's going to try it again. Same place, but different result. Looks like the Six Nation Arrows are pressing a little bit here softly. The Northmen able to beat the pressure with a lob pass out here to Shabbat. Matthews carries up top. He gets it over to Kruger. Kruger against Tolchi. Kruger out to Sanderson now. Sanderson back over to Matthews. Matthews comes across top. He likes to shoot on the run. Blows a tire, gets the shot off regardless. And that is squeezed by goaltender Redlick. Six Nations back on the attack now as Kogan carries to the near side. Kogan with some action in front. Working with Jimerson. Jimerson's got an open look. He'll shoot. That goes well wide and down the floor, and that'll be over and back. It'll be Northman ball. Wilson with his first shift of the night as Matthews carries down the strong left side here. Matthews with a good pick from Thompson as he gets it over to Kruger. Kruger looking to go one-on-one. He's going to get it back over to Matthews. Matthews across the top again. He gets it over to Wilson. Wilson looking to pass. He does to Kruger. Kruger now across the top. He's going to shoot around. No, he's not. He's going to go back underneath. Try for something better. 5 seconds remaining in the shot clock. A shot quickly there by Shabbat. And that's going to be scooped up by Aiden Matthews for an offensive rebound, and the Northmen will get to reset. Kruger with it now. Gets it down to Wilson. Wilson over to Matthews. Matthews working a two-man game with Thompson. Over to Kruger. He shoots high and wide, and that'll be an over and back call. And the Six Nations Arrows will have their next opportunity on offense. Rivera, after a big game last night, came out with all sorts of confidence in the warm-up, and in his first few shifts here, he looks dangerous. John Hill over to Rivera. Rivera cuts across the top, beats one man, looks to pass it inside, but nothing going there, and he passes it back to John Hill. John Hill back to Squire, and down to Cogan. Cogan's going to shoot around the park. No, he's not. He's going to fake that. Squire will shoot from way outside, and he hits the post. And this could be an opportunity for young Evan Miller on a breakaway. He can't scoop the ball. And it's back to Cogan, and the Six Nation Arrows will get another opportunity. Cogan with it. Back down to Rivera. Rivera shooting around a screen, short side bouncer that apparently, according to the referee, went off the goaltender and into the meshing, so it'll be a reset for the Arrows. Ball on the far side coming in with Hamill. Hamill carries. Over to Jimerson. Down to Cogan. Cogan looking to work with Rivera. He shoots one hard on the net, and that's saved neatly by Downey. Bishop Berman. Up now to Ron. Ron passes over to Costigan. Streaking man in. Matthews shoots from distance. That's saved easily by Redlick. Matthews with it on the offensive rebound. Northmen now with 25 seconds remaining on their second shot clock of the possession. Sanderson now. He gets it over to Matthews. Matthews looking to work a two-man game. He splashes underneath. He gets there some room, and a great save there, far side, short side. But Tyden Redlick got his left shoulder up just in time to save the goal. Tyden Redlick maybe stretched himself in a wrong way there as he is down in the crease. And there's a stoppage of play here. This would not be good news for the Six Nations Arrows, as Tyden Redlick didn't come in until the second game of the series after a good effort by Ethan Robertson, but Redlick had an unbelievable game here in Game 2 and again in Game 3 last night in the Six Nations, so he got the start again here in Game 4. Looks like he is laboring as the trainer attends to him, and he needs some assistance to get up. It looks like he's wanting to stay in the game, but a conversation will be had. There's referee Vandergiesen, Orangeville native, has a chat with Redlick himself. Got to give a shout out to my father, Rob Marshallin, who's listening for the first time this evening, and he says that I don't sound like myself. So, Dad, I can assure you it is me. I just sound a bit different, I guess, on the broadcast. And with me here tonight is also good friend and ex-teammate of mine from Akwesasne, Scott Thompson, better known as Butter. His son Parker in front of me here. Parker's breath does smell good today, I must say. He did chew some gum before he came in, so we thank you for that, Parker. And on we go with the play. Hamill inside to Redlick. Or excuse me, Lickers. And Lickers just missed the far side from his wrong side. Noble up to Shabbat, and Shabbat carries. He may stay in play, and he does. Jennings up to Thompson. Kruger now to Sanderson. Sanderson over the top. He tries to flash underneath. Nothing going there. Man falls. Sanderson shoots and he scores! Number 19 fired up as he looks to coach's corner with a couple of fist pumps, and he knots this game up at 1 with just over 5 minutes of play in the first period. See Sanderson here gets a nice pick there from Kruger as they've worked well together all year, and nice little extra pick there by Mr. Kruger allows Sanderson to get free with the falling Six Nations defender, and he makes no mistake by beating Redlick 5-hole to even this game up here, folks. And it looks like we're going to have another back and forth game like we have in the first three. Referee D'Souza checking in again on Tide and Redlick to see if he's okay, and it looks like he's going to tough out whatever ails him, and we're back to the face-off dot here. Northmen with a clean win back to Sean Costigan. If you've been watching the Northmen all year, you've seen that Sean Costigan makes his way around the floor quite a bit. Excellent defender, excellent loose ball man, runs the ball well, and can even stay in play offense, as we saw at the end of game 2 with 2 quick goals late in the third period. Now Rivera carries near side. Rivera surveying, he gets it over to Hill. Rivera with it again. He's going to shoot around the corner, and he shoots far side from his wrong side on the outside, stick side. A lot of sides there, I know, but with 14 minutes remaining, he regains the Six Nations lead 2-1. Alcazasny duty replay. He surveys here and gets it right back from the far side. Goes a little one-on-one here and gets that late little pick, little steal there by Jimerson. And he's able to build on his momentum from last night and pot his first of the evening to make it 2-1 with 14 remaining. Loose ball here, and looks like the Northmen will come out with it, and they move it back to Braden Gilmore. He gains the line. Over to Sanderson again. He decides to calm things down as Matthews is the late man to join the offense. Matthews inside to Garen Jennings, and a great stick there by Harding to disrupt that pass as it was on the money. But Harding had a good stick there to disrupt it, and it goes right back into the hands of the Arrows. Squire with it. He's out there with John Hill, Cogan, Lickers, and Hamill. Hamill with it now. He comes around the top. Little swim move there from Hamill, looking for Lickers inside, but that's well covered. Here comes Cogan, looking to shoot. He'll shoot from the far out, and that's right into the breadbasket of Downey, and he'll move it out and up to looky Sean Costigan. Sean Costigan looking to rush the net. He will, and he shoots, and that's saved on the near side glove by Redlick, and he looks no worse for wear. Cortez has tall cheek flexion, but he's going to go to the net himself as he was left alone in front there. And now Berman moves the ball to Thompson. Thompson also an Akwesasne native, but no relation to the Thompsons I'm sitting with. Matthews shot, and what a beautiful goal, short side from the wrong side, off the post and in, a no doubter from Aiden Matthews as his torrent pace continues. As you can see, Aiden's great haircut on the screen here as the ball comes out to him, and he's just on his wrong side here with lots of room as Rivera's a little late to get all the way across the floor. No one picked him up, and man, oh man, too bad we didn't have sound on the replay as that was labeled on the left post and in, and it looks like Redlick is having maybe some second thoughts, not about the shot, but maybe about his injury as he looks maybe a little perturbed. I don't think it mattered if he was injured or not. I believe that was going in. Another loose ball battle, and that's scooped up by the Northmen. I've talked about how important face-offs are here in this league, and after being swarmed well by the Arrows, that's given up into the stick of Blaze Becker. He'll get it off to Jimerson and allow Cogan to come out as the late man. Jimerson with it now. He looks up top, looking to move the ball here. That gets over to John Hill. John Hill looking to work with Hill as he shoots a bouncer from the outside. That's straight up in the air and collected by Cooper Campbell as he's going to have to leg out of trouble, and he does as the Arrows retreat. Miller with it. He's got pressure on the back. And some good pressure here on the top side by Garlow. And now Sanderson on the far side. Sanderson, little hit set. He shoots, and that's just well saved by Tyden Redlick. Offensive rebound there by Garen Jennings as he tries to spin out of it, and the ball dislodges out of his stick right into the hands of Tall Chief. Tall Chief with those bright pink shoes, hard to miss. Rivera now. He's looking to go one-on-one here with Shabbat. Shabbat, excellent defense there. John Hill right back out to Rivera as he's going to try Shabbat again. He spins into a double team. Little backhand in there for no one home, but Kogan gets it back down to Rivera. He misses the pass and now is pressured by Cooper. Campbell tries the dive at the end of the crease, and he's going to take a shot at the goalie, and that's going to be taken exception by Mr. Berman. We'll see if the referees say play on or if there'll be a penalty assessed. And it looks like Mr. Rivera, after a pretty lengthy shift going one-on-one there and getting nothing from it. Oh, no, it looks like there's no penalty called, excuse me. It's just a possession call, as I figured that was the right play, as it wasn't anything too malicious. A couple pushing and shoving items, which is not too big of a deal here in Junior A Lacrosse. Aiden Matthews carries over half. Gets it out to Dylan Sanderson. Dylan Sanderson working as he does with Kruger. Over to Jennings. Jennings has an outside shot, just misses the short side. Half a shot clock left. Matthews now carries. He's got some room underneath. He'll take it. He goes. Apparently a crease call by the referee D'Souza. And it looks like Tyden Redlick is having trouble getting back up off the floor once again. Squire with it on the near side. He's going to look to go one-on-one against the captain, Messier. Now back over to the strong side with John Hill. John Hill looking inside to Hill. And a loose ball to Braden Gilmore as he's having trouble collecting it, and that gets right back to Hill's stick. And that'll be over and back, even though the shot clock probably would have wound down before Six Nations could have got a shot, and it'll be Northman ball. Feel free to text me if you have my number. Let me know how I'm doing or how bad I am, and I'll try to respond promptly. Matthews now with it on the near side. Little 2-on-1 to Jennings, and again, that's disrupted by a good stick of Cortez. Cortez hot on it, and half a shot clock remains for the Northmen. Matthews with it now. Gets over top with a nice pick from Wilson. Now Kruger gets it over to Jennings. Jennings got an opportunity, tries to go 5-hole, but Redlick had the answer. And now Cortez carries it over half. As Tall Chief looks like he's going to stay in play. Tall Chief with it. Gets it out to Rivera, and he'll get off. Rivera back down to Kogan. Or excuse me, Cortez. Cortez into Rivera. That was on the wrong side of the body, but a nice look nonetheless. 5 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Tried to get it into Rivera, but a good stick there by Shabbat, as it looks like he's been tasked with covering Rivera on the evening. Not an easy task, but I'm sure one that he'll take pride in and do the best he can. Thompson with it now on the near side. He goes across, looking to feed it, and he does to Sanderson. Dylan Sanderson. Back to Dylan Sanderson from Jennings. Sanderson comes across the top. He's looking across. There's Thompson. He likes to shoot on the run, too. Thompson thinking he's going to shoot around a screen, and that's right into the chest of Tyden Redlick. Six Nations carry uncontested back up to half. And Jimmerson will carry on the near side. He's working with Squire on the right side and joined with Kogan. So it'll be weak on the left side for Hill and John Hill. And Hill, on a nice feed from John Hill, is able to beat goaltender Downey, but he's in the crease, so that won't count. Sean Costigan wisely pulls it out as he didn't have a clean look. Gets it over to Rusty Kruger, and Costigan will stay in play, which I always like to see. Kruger knocked down, right back up. He's going to come on. He's got some room. He shoots, and that just misses far side. Offensive rebound now, but the Northmen are going to have to go quick with only 5 remaining. Matthews, oh, and that was pasted for the far left corner, but an easy save because it was from distance by Tyden Redlick with the right arm. Rivera can look easy to see that he is feeling himself here this evening. So it looks like we've got 2 calls there. We've got I think, a high stick on Cooper Campbell. And then moving pick on Six Nations. But there was a discussion there between the two referees. Let's see what they saw. Take a look at Cooper Campbell here. He just came out the door, I believe. He gets up a little bit high, but nothing really that bad. And then he gets cross-checked low across the back. And that's called as a moving pick. Coach Rusty Kruger pretty upset with referee D'Souza because the moving pick was called after the penalty. I'm not sure how that works as far as the order of the calls, but Rusty Kruger believes that it should be Orangeville ball because the last call was a moving pick. But nonetheless, after a penalty's called, I guess the referee decides that the team on the power play is going to have the ball to start. Six Nations moves it around. Kogan, he's looking to shoot. He does around the screen, and that's off the mask of Downey, and he looks quickly to the referee as a strap looked to come loose off his face. It looked like it went right into the stick of a Northmen player, so it'll be Northmen ball as they look to kill 30 seconds of the penalty. Anyone looking for an out-of-town scoreboard for Junior B action, it looks like the Ganawage Hunters are up 6-3 against the Akwesasne Thunder in Akwesasne. First period, end of 1 in Akwesasne. And just in a moment, we'll have some Junior A scores, live updates for you folks as the Northmen go to work here on the short man. Sanderson looking to get underneath. He might shoot. He does, and he scores! Another 5-hole goal for number 19 as he does a little jump into coach's corner as he's fired up. As the game is all knotted up at 2 with 7:10 remaining in the first period. Akwesasne duty-free replay shows Sanderson. He goes underneath and just so shifty, and he's able to put Tall Chief in a little bit of a blender there to gain himself some space right along the dotted line and is able to beat Tide and Redlick for the second time. 5-hole here this evening. And excuse me, it's 3-2 Orangeville. I apologize. How could I forget of Aiden Matthews' beautiful goal off the post and in. Number 19. Now carried on the far side there by Hamill as the Arrows try to even up this power play of theirs. Kogan back to Hamill. Hamill and Kogan play catch across the top. Kogan with it now. He gets it back over to Hamill. Back up to 9. Kogan. He shoots and a no-doubter from Kogan as he puts it off the bar and in. And Six Nations has knotted it right back up in 17 seconds. 3-3. They just play catch back and forth here, and Kogan always looking to get a shot here, especially around a screen, and he does around Costigan. And that is from distance, but again, a very fine shot under the glove of Cole Downey off the post and in. Those goals off the post and in are very difficult to stop, folks, as they are the best shot you can have in lacrosse. It looks like there's some extracurriculars here at the restraining lines among the Six Nation Arrows and the Orangeville Northmen, as is playoff lacrosse standard. As Perret and Campbell will battle on the dot once more. Campbell with most of the face-off wins. He wins it clean again. He looks to scoop it back, but that's off Perret, and now there's a 50-50 battle for the ball. It'll go right into Ron's stick, and he'll have 8 seconds to get it over. He moves it up to Braden Gilmore. Gilmore gets it over half. He's pressured lightly there and is able to get it off to Kruger, and Braden Gilmore, normally a defensive player, will stay in play on the offense. Sanderson now. Hot stick so far in the first period. Matthews looking for his second of the night. Matthews comes across the top, looking to exchange. He does to Kruger. Kruger with some seals there. Back to Matthews. He shoots, and that's off a good stick of a Six Nation defender, and that'll be it for the shot clock for the Northmen. Pretty back and forth action here in the first period as we approach the 6-minute mark of the first frame. Kogan carries now on the near side. Kogan looking to work 2-on-2 with Squire. He gets in space. Squire shoots, and that's saved with the left arm of Downey. Offensive rebound picked up by the Arrows, and they'll get a second crack at this possession. Squire with it again. First goal of the game was from Squire. Cogan now, he's gonna shoot again. Nope, he's gonna pull it back as he has 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Looking for something better with John Hill. John Hill back over to Cogan, and a beautiful catch by Cogan as he jumps and puts it over a sliding Downey to avoid the crease call. And now the Six Nations Arrows have gained a 1-goal lead again. And watch as John Hill goes down and just a sliding Cogan, he just caps off there. A nice little pass, cross crease. Has the wherewithal to stay out of the crease with a jump and just fires it over top of the shoulder of Downey. Tall Chief with a loose ball there. Face-off's pretty even so far, maybe with a slight edge to Orangeville. Don't have the exact numbers on it, but that's what I've seen so far. Rivera with it. Dripping with confidence is number 20. Over to John Hill. He shoots, and that's just narrowly misses the meshing at the top, but it's over and back, and it'll be Northmen ball. Matthews will pick it up at half and carry it in on the strong left side here with Thompson and Jennings. Thompson with it. Thompson looking to go one-on-one here, trying to go underneath. Nothing going there. Good defense by the Arrows. A little room there now. Thompson will look back to give it to Jennings. Jennings misses the pass. That almost went right into the stick of Shirtlift, but he couldn't gather it, and Six Nations is able to regain possession, and they'll go back on the attack. Squire with it. Carries low on the near side, working with Cogan and Rivera. Rivera over to Hamill. Hamill working with Hill. He gets a nice pick. Now it's a 2-on. Hamill trying to bull his way in. Nothing there. He gets it out to Cogan. He'll shoot around the screen, and that's right into the stick of Downey. Downey looking to outlet pass. He gets one off to Campbell, and Campbell will decide to leg it over to avoid the 8-second call. Sanderson now, as he waits for reinforcements. Little shovel pass to Matthews, and a late hit there by Becker as they're trying to get their licks in on Sanderson, as he's had the hot stick early here in the game. Matthews trying to pull his way underneath, but defended well there by Rivera as he's playing on both ends right now. Sanderson, another shot, and that's a nice low leg save, and it looks like Six Nations will have their first penalty of the night as Rivera gave a little extra something to Sanderson after the shot. Not sure if we're going to have a duty-free replay on that, and cameraman Jim says no way, he doesn't like it. Call was made, but nevertheless, it will be quarterbacked by assistant captain Kruger. We got a text message coming in from Andrew Stoner as he agrees with my father, thought it was the wrong stream. And he says, be careful, if I'm doing such a great job as I am, people might not show up to the game anymore. I hope that is wrong, as if you're in town and you're able, you should be coming to support the boys here live. Kruger now works it low back end. It's Sanderson over to a wide open Matthews, and he shoots a no-doubter again. Same place, and him and Sanderson both have 2 now in the first period as the game is knotted up once again here at 4. You just see some basic movement there. Jennings goes down to the low crease, and now you got to be respected up top with Kruger, and that just opens the most dangerous area of the floor right in front of the net between the crease and the dotted line. And Aiden Matthews, my goodness, no doubt, top corner on Redlick. And the referees decided to call what looked like an even bickering between Messier and an Arrows player. I guess Messier got a little too much of it, and it'll be Six Nations ball. Lickers with it now. He's got some room. He's going to shoot, and that's saved by Downey. Sean Costigan picks up the ball and heads north. Evan Miller with it now. Gets it off to Matthews. Matthews up to Costigan. Back to Matthews. Matthews tries to go across the crease, and he's hit hard there by Keen Perry as he gets pushed into the goalie, and goaltender Redlick giving him a little bit of the business as he's underneath him. Matthews right back up, no worse for wear, as he likes to go to the net hard. And sometimes when you get to the guts of the floor like that, ladies and gentlemen, that's the price you pay. A little over 3 minutes remaining now in the third period. Here's the Akwesasne duty replay as he gets right back from Costigan down here, and a hard move there, and yep, just pushed right into the goaltender. I'm sure he didn't like that as he's been laboring what looked like to be a right leg issue as Matthews was cross-checked into his left knee, but probably scrambled his right knee a little bit, and he's expressing his displeasure right now to referee Vandergiesen. Well, as these kids mop up the floor, let me look at my old Google machine here and see if I can't find some updates and scores. It looks like the Oakville Buzz are up 5-1 against the Kitchener Kodiaks. And that is the only other live score we have here to offer you folks, as it is the only other game in the Ontario Junior A Lacrosse League tonight. Kogan will leg it up the floor against Berman. He snaps it down to Rivera. Rivera looking to go right away. He comes over the top, a quick shot, and that looked like to be a short side goal, but it must have hit the outside of the post and the back mesh as it was not in. Good pressure there by Six Nations in the corner to get it. And now the Orangeville coaches are wondering why it was called. They believe that they didn't have possession, so it shouldn't have been an 8-second call. And now Captain Messier behind the play gives a little extra chop to Rivera, and he's going to head to the sin bin. With everything that's going on, that slash didn't look like much, but referee D'Souza didn't like it, so he calls Messier on the what Rusty Kruger is expressing his displeasure in the penalty with some colorful language across the floor. A chintzy call in my opinion as well, as it just looked like a normal off-ball kind of slash, but nonetheless, I guess they're trying to clean this up a little bit. I'm sure the Northmen bench staff won't mind if it's called the other way on the other end of the floor. I'm sure the referees will have lots of opportunity, as that happens all the time off ball, even before the whistle is blown. So Six Nations power play goes back to work. Shot there by Hamill, and that's blocked by Costigan. He's off to the races now. Hamill's got good wheels too, as Costigan's forced to pull out here. He's going to look to waste 30 here, as that's coughed up by Shabbat, but picked right back up by Costigan, and he'll just stay high and wide, as he'll like to kill as much of this penalty as possible. Now Shabbat has a little room. He gets it over to Sanderson, who now has Becker's one-on-one. Sanderson looking to shoot here at the end of the shot clock. He doesn't have anything, so he'll just dump it in the corner. And it looks like Mr. Becker will be heading to the sin bin, as he grabbed onto Max Kruger's stick and threw it on the floor. So Mr. Vandergiesen, after being chewed out by Coach Rusty Kruger, has called a penalty on Blaze Becker of the Arrows. So it'll be 4-on-4 action here, folks, for around 1 minute and 20 seconds. And we should see quite a lot of opportunities here, as the floor opens quite a bit when there's no strong side. Dangerous pass there by Matthews across the top to Sanderson. Narrowly intercepted. Sanderson carries over. Good defense there by the Arrows. Matthews with it now. He's hitched steps. He shoots. Oh, he's trying to go back left side, but misses. Sanderson with a quick rebound and shot. And that's saved again by Redlick back to back. And now Porter will jog it over half and no doubtedly get it into the hands of the offense. Squire. Across to Lickers as he works with John Hill. John Hill and Lickers on the left side. John Hill with it now. He's got some room. He tries to shoot over the top, and man, that John Hill, he doesn't shoot the ball hard. I'm sure he can, but he likes to take it off and place it, and that one missed narrowly. Jimerson now carries. He's looking to go underneath. He's got some room there. Tries to flip it back out to Squire, but now he's pressured well by Aiden Matthews, and a nice play there by Squire to avoid the over and back, but it goes right into the hands of the Northern defense and back up to Mr. Costigan. Costigan hands off to Matthews. Matthews out there with Kruger and Sanderson on the far side, working with Costigan on the near side. Sanderson now. Looks like the power play has begun for the Orangeville Northmen. They've got 5 seconds to get a shot here. Kruger comes right down the pipe. He tries to go short side, and that's saved by Redlick and off into the netting, so it'll be a reset for the Northman power play as Costigan changes, so Jennings can join the floor. Wilson on the crease, Sanderson on the shooter on the far side, quarterbacked by Kruger, Matthews and Jennings on the near side. Backhand to Sanderson. Sanderson with a hot stick so far. Back out to Kruger. Sanderson shoots, he scores again, far side this time, off the post and in. And what a first period hat trick by Dylan Sanderson to get his team a 1-goal lead with only 24 seconds remaining in the first period. Akwesasne duty-free replay as you see Dylan Sanderson, beautiful man there on the screen. He comes around, just plays catch, a little backhand here with Kruger, and a great seal there by Wilson just allows Kruger to walk into a space he was comfortable shooting and makes a no-doubt far side bouncer off the post, and then beautiful shot, beautiful goal. He's got the hat trick, and it is 5-4 Northman. Tall Chief going to try with his hot shoes against Campbell on the face-off dot. Let's see how it goes. He wins it clean to himself. Tall Chief probably see him in the face-off dot again after that, as he's well pressured there by Cooper Campbell. It looks like the Northmen are happy to just, and a nice, really low cross check there by Wyatt Wiggins. And he's going to go to the penalty box for that, extracurricular. Cross check on Mr. Campbell. As Cooper Campbell shows some signs of a sting, getting cross-checked on the hips might be one of the worst pains you can endure in lacrosse. As it looks like Chaz Hill and Wyatt Wiggins will both go to the box alongside Bishop Berman. Hey, from Peterborough? From Peterborough, right? Wyatt Wiggins, of course, joining the Six Nations Arrows for the first time in the series, as he's got an internship as he goes to Harvard down there. Came back in for the final few games here of this series and finds himself on the game sheet with a 2-minute minor illegal cross-check. So it'll be right back to the power play for the Northmen here with 8 seconds remaining. They're going to pull the goalie to go 6-on-4. And we'll see how this goes. Obviously, they'll have to go into it right away. Kruger carries it in, off to Matthews. Back to Kruger. Kruger, he's going to shoot, and that just misses the near side. Sanderson with it, he shoots, and he scores! With 0.6 seconds left, a 4th goal for Dylan Sanderson in the first period. Gives a 2-goal advantage lead to the Northmen right in the dying seconds. What a goal! Akwesasne duty replay. Kruger shoots, he misses the net right to Sanderson. He picks it up quick, clutches, and just beats Redlick short side low, and another splash in the glass for Coach's Corner as the Northmen take a 2-goal lead. And the Northman power play clipping at an incredible rate here in the first period. 3 for 3, I believe. And now Perry will try to win the faceoff against Campbell, and they'll just wash this as it's only 0.6 seconds left. And there goes the buzzer. Well, a back and forth period, lead exchanges all the way through, and the Northmen come out with the first 2-goal lead of the game, 6-4. And we'll see you back here in about 10 minutes, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
looking for the far. Foster looking to get a shot. He does. Goaltender makes the save. Now coming back the other way will be the Hunters. 7-5 to score, 9:54. Very tight game here at the Orangeville Arena. On the far side, it's going to be Tuax with it. Tuax passes back off to Owen Rice. Owen Rice passes it back out to Sendon. And there's another violation, moving violation, picked up there by the Thunder. Coming in close. Here's Thompson with a shot on goal. Rebound. Oh, it was in the crease. Thompson had that far side picked. And goaltender Lahash just got his left shoulder on it. And coming back the other way are the Hunters. Owen Rice down low, gets around the check of Kane Murphy. It does try to. Murphy cut him off at the pass. Now it's picked up by Sendon. Sendon back out top. They pass the ball around. Good movement by the Hunters. Here's Bucktooth with a shot on net that went wide. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Rice lets it go. Tries to go behind the net. And it's picked up by the Thunder. Thunder picking the ball. That's Barrero with it, being met already by a checking Norton. Picked up there by Thompson. They got to get down lower inside that restraining line. Back out to Thompson. Thompson down low. Where's the picks, boys? Where's the picks? And coming across was Barrero with that kick that Sunday had thrown, but he missed the ball. Now coming back is Foster. Foster. Here comes a swim move by Delarmy. Can't get in there. Lost control of the ball. Hill comes out. So does King, so does Oakes, and so does Murphy coming out on defense. And Schoenecker. Reese Nugent with a shot on goal. Oh, and he tried to go low on goaltender Delarmy. He just got a piece of it. Stretch 30 seconds for the Hunters. 8:17 remaining here in period number 2. 7-5 for the Hunters. Now here's a long shot behind the net. They try to go swim pass, but he stepped in the crease. Tried to go a dive and swim shot from behind the net by Nugent, but he was in the crease. Thunder come back on offense. Delarmy with it, coming down low. Delarmy trying to get in there, leaves it for Sunday. Sunday, quick stick. No, it's not. Oh, there's a rebound shot. Oh, and another save. Beautiful save by Lahash. As he was down and out, Barrero had him at his mercy, but somehow Lahash made the save. Those are the kind of plays that the Thunder have to keep doing. Picked up there by Bucktooth Jr. Bucktooth Jr. trying to get a pass. There's a shot. Scores! Green shot. That was a total screen shot. Bucktooth passed it off. All when he came around the pick, there were 3 players, 2 Thunder and Bucktooth Jr. And that pass came from the pick, and Delarmy had no chance on it. Caught him short side.
Good evening and welcome back to the Tony Rose Memorial Sports Complex for the second period action of Game 4 here in the Orangeville Junior A Lacrosse quarterfinals, with your Northmen leading the Six Nation Arrows 6-4. Back and forth, high scoring, high flying action in the first period, and hopefully we'll get some more of that tonight in the second. Keen Perret against Cooper Campbell in the face-off dot, and here we go. Second period underway. Campbell able to get it back to Messier as Messier trots it up the floor, and he's looking to dish it off. He does to Matthews. Matthews able to get over to his proper side and dishes it off to Jennings. Jennings over to Kruger. Down to Sanderson. Sanderson carrying. Surveying, carrying. Looking for Kruger inside. Found him, but Kruger unable to connect on the pass. And it'll be right back into the stick of Redlick. Brennan uncontested, carries over half. Brennan over to Kogan. Kogan to Rivera. Rivera across to Lickers. Lickers, he's going to shoot. That had the top left-hand corner pasted, but just goes wide. And an opportunity early here for the Northmen out the door. And it looks like, again, the referee D'Souza has to blow it down as Tyden Redlick is all netted up there. Shout out to former Junior A goaltender Mike Fournier, who's taking me and my daughter fishing tomorrow morning, and hopefully we'll net a couple the size of Redlick tomorrow, eh, Stump? Also a couple shout outs here to some of the faithful watchers. Doug and Sandra Downey, always tuned in to watch their grandson between the pipes here, and we'd like to thank them for once again tuning in, as they always do, from north of Orangeville. Vern Lorenz is also watching from the comforts of his lazy boy chair in the basement of Gino's house. And we'd like to thank him, as he watched a lot of lacrosse in this rink for a lot of years. So thank you for tuning in, Vern. Six Nations now. 5 seconds remaining in the shot clock, and the Northmen are trying to shut it down. Hamill now has a step. He gets a shot off, and Downey is able to save that as he's run into by Evan Miller, who is guarding Hamill. Downey pops right back up, fixes his net. He looks fine. And now Costigan looking to pass it off, and he does to Sanderson. Downey now trying to get back across the floor, but Garlow is not letting it happen. Sanderson underneath, as he likes to go. He goes short side, diving through the crease, and he pays the price. Not unlike Matthews at the end of the first period here. And once again, Tyden Redlick, accidentally on purpose, is giving him a hard time as he tries to get up. They're calling for another wipe as Redlick labors getting up, as he is favoring one of his legs, it seems. And the young Northern boys will come back out. Having a look in Coach's Corner here, I don't see Andrew Suter, so he must be hating the broadcast from the comfort of his own home. And we appreciate that, Andrew, as if you got nothing nice to say, you can just stay right home. But we all love you, Andy. No hard feelings. I like the honesty. Shout out to Justin Dixon, who enjoyed the Gino's basement comment. Appreciate that, Digger. Digger, of course, a longtime Northman. Won Ontario here in 2000 with the boys. Shot from the outside, blocked by the Orangeville defender. And that will be over and back. Or excuse me, not over and back. As it went off a Northman defender. I'm not sure how that works, as it wasn't on purpose. It was just deflected. I'm not sure what the call is there, but maybe that can be clarified some other time. And if you can remember, folks, all the way back to game one, someone scored top corner, and I referred to Dop Cheese, and that has to do with Mike Dop, who was a longtime Northman here, and a shot by Dylan Sanderson stopped and right into the stick of Karen Jennings, and he is able to get it off just a little bit. And that ends up in behind, trickles in behind Redlick as he scrambled to get it, but couldn't. And now the Northmen have a 3-goal lead here in just over, or excuse me, just under 2.5 minutes. Crossing duty-free replay showed it nice and clear, although I forgot to commentate on it. My apologies. That was not what we call Dop Cheese, as Mike Dop, as I said earlier, liked to fire at top cheddar. And we called it Top Dop, and then eventually Dop Cheese for the Dopper. Shout out to his father, the Sausage Man. Another face-off battle here, as it looks like it was in the stick and out of the stick really quickly for the Six Nations, and Now a free ball push, and it'll be Northmen ball once again as they go back to work.
Northmen ball scored by number 4, Jennings.
Looks like the Arrows are putting up some full floor pressure here to try to slow down the Northmen offense as this kills some precious time off the clock, and Sean Costigan able to use his good feet to get out of trouble, and Matthews carries on the far side now. Matthews looking to go underneath. He finds Jennings. Jennings, another good stick lift there by Garlow. He's had a lot of them, folks, to disallow Jennings to catch that in the danger area. Porter now gets the pass across half, and he'll wait for the offense to come out as he'll hand the ball off here to Lickers. Lickers to John Hill. John Hill over to Rivera. And a moving pick there by Hamill as Cooper Campbell is slow to get up, as it looked like he took another one across the hips, perhaps. Quick shot there by Connor Lesky, and that's gobbled up by Redlick. And now Six Nations Arrows will go back to work. Kogan with it now. He surveys. He likes to have the ball in his stick. He's looking to pass it off now. He does to Hill. Hill trying to come around. Evan Miller. Good defense there by number 9. A nice pass there across the crease, and Kogan just into the crease there as it was a good look. Even though Kogan was in the crease, it was still saved by Downey, and Evan Miller on the other end had a couple of chances there, unable to bury on the second effort, but it was close. And now Harding with some trouble as Matthews is all over him at the center floor line. Good stick there by Matthews again, and he's off to the races now. He's got to be pretty tired, folks. And that was a chop that took Matthews down, but it was an over and back as the Six Nations Arrows player touched it first, I guess, and referee John Vandergiesen calls Northmen ball. Starting with it on the far side is Jennings. He snaps it across to Sanderson. Sanderson looking for his 5th here in the first half of the game. Sanderson working against the offensive prowess of Rivera, who slips and does a pretty good job there. Thompson with a great shot, and that's picked up by Rivera. Or Redlick, excuse me. Cortez with it. He gets it over to Rivera. Rivera right back out here after playing defense, as he's got to be low on energy, but I think he's riding a pretty big high from last night into tonight. Hamill with a one-on-one here against Berman. He elects to pick it back up and out, and it looks like there's a delayed penalty for the Northmen. Not enough time on the shot clock for the Six Nations goaltender to come out, and Kogan says he doesn't need a power play. He'll rip from the restraining line and get a trickler 5-hole on Cole Downey. We'll look at the Akwesasne duty-free replay here, and as you can see, the shot clock winding down in the background, and Hamill just pops it up to Kogan with 2 seconds left, and Kogan just rips uncontested, a nice little bouncer off the pad and in of goaltender Downey, and the Six Nations Arrows have closed the gap to 2. Perret and Campbell will go at it once again here on the dot. Just over 5 minutes played so far in the second period. 7-5 Northern. Illegal procedure on Campbell, so it'll be Six Nations ball.
Arrows goal scorer number 9, Chase Logan. Assistant number 15, Max Campbell, number 66.
Lickers carries up and over. Gets it over to Jimerson. Jimerson carries, nothing going underneath, so he exchanges to Hill. Hill looking for some room. He's going to shoot around a screen. And a nice save there by Downey. A rebound, beautiful rebound pickup there as Lickers beat Sean Costigan to the rebound and cuts the lead of the Northmen to 1. As you can see, Lickers just sends, and Costigan just loses his footing, and Lickers wins the race to the rebound in front as it trickles out to the top of the crease, and he goes up and over top of Cole Downey to make it 7-6 here. Very quickly for the Arrows. Back and forth like a fiddler's elbow here, ladies and gentlemen, in game 4. Now Shabbat has an opportunity. He's going to wisely pull it out and give it out to Berman. Looks like Rivera was trying to cheat up, but he'll now head back as Six Nations is trying to hold the transition of the Northmen to a minimum and waste as much shot clock as they can, and they've done a pretty good job with only 8 seconds left here. Thompson underneath, he gets to the net. Oh, and off the post, almost, as he got to the guts of the floor and tried to go far side. Cortez over half, and he pulls up as he's going to try to get it into the stick of Hamill, and he does. Hamill on Berman. A nice pick there by Lickers. He's going to re-pick for Hamill. Nothing in the middle now as he goes across to Rivera, and he can't handle the pass. Picks up his own rebound off the boards, and he'll come across the top. Rivera shoots way from the outside, but a good stick there by the Northmen, and another shot, and we are all tied up, folks, as Hamill laid a real bomb from the outside there on a bouncer far side on Cole Downey, as we'll look at the replay here from the Akwesasne Duty Free. Big shot here as that is tipped off a stick and right into the stick of Hamill, and a nice little seal there by Lickers to allow Hamill to get his hands free and get that nice shot to the far side. And that rattles in on Downey, and we're all tied up here again, folks, and 3 goals in just under a minute and a half here, and we're knotted at 7.
Arrows goal scored by number 15, Matt Hamill. Assist by number 9, Jason Logan. Number 20, Ian Rivera. Time of the goal.
Out of Town scoreboard has the Oakville Buzz up on the Kitchener Kodiaks on a score of 10-4. So again, the Oakville Buzz leading the Kitchener Kodiaks 10-4 in the other game in the Ontario Junior A playoffs tonight. A couple of squirts of water for the goaltenders, and we'll be right back into the action. Illegal procedure on Six Nations this time. And a cross check from behind that sends Cooper Campbell to the floor, but no call by referee D'Souza. Put his whistle up to his mouth just for a second and decided against it. Northmen with it on the far side. Jennings over to Sanderson. Sanderson on the near side now, working with Kruger. Sanderson surveying, comes across the top. He'll shoot again, why wouldn't he? And that's gobbled up by Redlick. Carried over the floor by the Arrows and in the hands of Brennan. Hill now with it on the near side. Hill going to work with John Hill. Hill's going to shoot. He does, and that's saved by Downey and out and over the boards. And a couple of young ladies down there looking at their phones almost got picked off. Jimmerson carries over half. He's working on the strong side with Squire and Rivera, as John Hill working on the near side with Hill. Rivera shoots, and that's off the midsection of Downey right into his crease. And now the Northmen are going to look to spring someone, and it'll be Sean Costigan as he runs the floor well, but is disrupted there. And a delayed penalty coming to the Arrows for what looks like to be a hold. And referee D'Souza agrees with me, and he'll give a holding call to Wyatt Wiggins. Wyatt Wiggins, the Peterborough native, came in a late trade to the Six Nations Arrows. And he'll head to the box for a second time. Perhaps a little chintzy on that call as well, if I'm being honest, but it all comes out in the wash as there was a chintzy call to the Northmen not too long ago. So again, the Northern power play has been dangerous. I believe they're clicking at 100% here tonight, folks. So we'll keep a close eye on that as they've had some really nice looks and some success. And they'll look to have some more here in the next 2 minutes or less as they'll try to regain a 1-goal lead. I'd like to thank all our sponsors, of course, Hoffman Plastics, Clark Construction, Smokey's Garage, and Alto Construction. Sanderson now gets it over to Kruger at the top. Over to Matthews and down to Jennings, and around the horn the Northmen go. Little catch and go at the top, and now motion in place. Sanderson across to Matthews, and he scores a nice hat-trick goal as he gets the one-timer and he goes to the crowd to get it pumped up. And the young Aiden Matthews is fired up, folks, and why wouldn't he be? He has just regained the lead for his team, 8-7. Akwesasne duty-free. You can see Sanderson as he likes to go underneath, and Kenny Porter had to respect Sanderson and come across the crease, which allowed Matthews to slide down from the shooter position to get that one-timer goal, even from a very difficult angle, able to one-time that in the back of the crease, or in the back of the net, excuse me. And the Northmen power play has been absolutely outstanding here in the almost first half of Game 4. Campbell bats it back to Gilmore. Gilmore quickly gets it over to Berman, and now Berman will leg it out over half to get to the half point. He passes it out, and now Thompson will get it to the near side to Wilson. Wilson looking to attack, gets it down to Kruger. Kruger around the top, gets it over to Thompson. Thompson looking to go underneath. He's got a nice move there by Shabbat, and a great offensive rebound by Wilson. Takes a hit to make a play, and now the Northmen have a one-timer, and Sanderson has his 5th goal of the evening. What a great job there by the Northmen offense to get a tough loose ball by Wilson as he's taken down, gets it across. As we'll see here in the Akwesasne duty-free replay, and watch Thompson, a nice no-looker to a wide-open Sanderson on the crease. And Tyden Redlick had no chance there as he dove across, but the quick hands of Sanderson able to bury that before he got there. And now the Northmen have regained a 2-goal lead, 9-7. Dylan Sanderson having himself a heck of a game here, folks. His 5th of the night, and we haven't even made it through halfway point of the game. And now we have a goaltender change for the Six Nation Arrows as Tyden Redlick will be pulled for Ethan Robertson. Six Nations, I mentioned in Game 2, have full confidence in both their goaltenders, so they're not worried at all that Redlick had to be pulled tonight. And Ethan Robertson, the big body, number 29, is now between the pipes, looking for a spark for the Arrows as the Northmen have scored 9 so far. Don't go anywhere though, folks. The Six Nation Arrows have a lot of firepower up front, and they've done it before tonight several times to catch back up, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more back and forth here as we approach the halfway mark of the game. Another 50-50 loose ball, and that's picked up by the captain Messier, and he'll wait for Sean Costin to get over half and pass it over to him. So it'll be Northmen looking to build on their 2 most recent goals. Thompson with it now. He just had the nice pass to Sanderson. Back up to Matthews. He shoots as they try to get to Robertson early. Kruger with a nice offensive rebound, so he gets a second crack at it with the offense on this possession. Thompson down to Jennings. Jennings over to Kruger. Kruger looking to shoot, but he pulls it out. Jennings now. He'll shoot. And that's just saved on the top shoulder there by Robertson as the short side top corner was picked. Robertson, a very big body. He can go down and even still cover the top end corners. Another offensive rebound by the Northmen, and they'll get their 3rd opportunity of the possession. These multiple offensive rebounds sure do wear down defenses, ladies and gentlemen, so we'll see what the Northmen do here with it. Thompson over to Kruger. Kruger, quick shot, he scores! A wonderful low shot on the right-hand side to Robertson as he had to come across with the exchange from the lefties to the righties, and Kruger with the quick shot. As you can see, Sanderson passes over to Thompson, and Thompson right back over. Robertson has to respect, and Kruger makes no mistake in waiting for that to come into his stick. A quick, almost one-timer as we see his beautiful face on the screen. And he goes low off the post and in on the far side as big body Robertson tries to come across. And now the Northmen have their biggest lead of the game with 3. Another illegal movement on the face-off by Six Nations, trying to solve Campbell, and it'll be another possession for the Northmen. So the Northmen working on their 5th or 6th possession in a row here. And a shot by Jennings goes off the goalie, and off the boards, and Robertson will pick that up. Cortez with it. Six Nations desperately needing one here to get back in this game as we approach the halfway mark. Here comes Hamill. Always dangerous is 15. Hamill carrying there with Lickers. Or excuse me, Hill. Hamill beats another man, comes in, gets stripped there by the Northern defense, and that's a great play for the defensive unit. Campbell legs it up the floor over half. No fast breaks, so he'll put the brakes on. And now he'll use his legs to get over to the other half of the floor and dump this off to the offensive hands of Mr. Thompson. Thompson over to Sanderson, Hill carry. 10 seconds remain on the shot clock for the Northmen. Six Nations doing a good job holding the Northmen up from defense to offense. Quick shot here coming now from Thompson. He doesn't have enough time to get it off. Sanderson obviously heard the shot clock buzzer, but didn't hear a whistle, so that's all fair game with the shot. Late shot. Squire carries now. He's got John Hill on the near side. John Hill with it. He likes to finally put it on net. He looks to exchange to Cogan. Cogan inside there to Squire, and a nice catch and shoot there, or excuse me, Jimerson. A nice catch and shoot by 72. And goaltender Downey looks sharp. Miller, nice little shovel pass into the corner to a wide open Thompson, and then the Northmen will have half a shot clock to go to work. Matthews open, he shoots again, and that's off the inside of the post and all the way down the floor. And since that's off the post, it will not be over and back, and good pressure there by Tall Chief, and now the Northmen go back to work. Kruger with it. He's gonna take a shot, he does, and that just misses far side from his wrong side. That'll be over and back for the Northmen, and it'll be Six Nations with a full 30-second clock in the offensive end. Rivera picks it up in the corner on his wrong side. He'll dump it off to Hill and find his way through the middle to crash and bang. Hill open now, he shoots. That's wide off the back boards and on the back of the net. Goaltender Downey bumbles it there a little bit, and some of that good soft pressure by the Arrows to hold up the Northern defense transitioning to offense. And a nice over and back play there by Wyatt Wiggins. And now the Arrows have a chance with Cogan as he wisely pulls it out, as the Northern had defensive numbers. Cogan carries, waiting for reinforcements. Now Nations is on. He shoots, that's off the goaltender and off the post and out. So that'll be a reset for the Six Nations Arrows as they go back to work. Lickers with it, working with John Hill. Lickers comes across the top. Great job by Matthews. Lickers still gets a nice shot off as he tried to twister it over the shoulder of Downey, but he just got a piece of it to keep it out. Dangerous pass there from Dash Adams as that goes off the boards, and luckily right back into Dash Adams' stick, but that'll be an 8-second violation since Six Nations did not gain full possession. Rivera now. He carries across the top and exchanges to John Hill. John Hill carries. He's looking back for Rivera. He finds him. Rivera, one-on-one with Dash Adams. He shoots, and that's a good save there by Downey. Another bobble ball by Ron right into the stick of Shabbat. And Shabbat's going to have to make quick work of this as he shovels it up to Ron, and he gets over safely in 8 seconds. Sanderson now calms down the offense. Rivera caught back on defense. He doesn't seem to mind playing both ends, and he's got a good stick in there, and Jennings picks it up, and with half a shot clock left, the Northmen will try to find another goal of their own. Sanderson carries. Good move there by Sanderson, and he's got his sixth. It's a sock trick for number 19, ladies and gentlemen, and what a night for Dylan Sanderson as he buries his 6th goal of the night on Ethan Robertson. In the Augustosity duty-free replay, you can see he just finds himself in the middle there. Perry gets turned around, and Sanderson able to use him as a screen right on top of the crease. And not much of a chance there for Ethan Robertson as he finds the far side posted in. And it is now 11-7, Northmen with a 4-goal lead. Perhaps their biggest lead of the series so far, ladies and gentlemen. And they look to be in full control right now in the second period. Tall Chief now trying his best against Campbell, and that doesn't work. 8-second count starting now as Berman wisely went into the defensive end to avoid the over and back pressure. And now Miller gets it down to Dylan Sanderson, scoring at a torrent pace here in the game. Sanderson now. Across to Jennings. Jennings will shoot, and that's off the backboards and on the back of the net. Northmen will get their defensive unit out as Tall Chief carries it up the floor with those hot pink shoes. Jimerson down to Cogan. Big body of Cogan comes across the top. He gets it to Lickers and now to John Hill. John Hill across the top. He's got some room but elects to pass it to Cogan. Cogan going to try a crumb across the top, but he's met by Ron. John Hill now. He finds the crease. Jimerson shoots, and that's wide of the net, and that'll be over and back. Now the Northmen start with the ball in Six Nation Arrows territory, and they'll have a full 30 seconds to work it and try to add to this 4-goal lead they find themselves in here late in the second period. Carried now by Wilson. He gets it out to Sanderson. Sanderson with the hottest stick of the series so far in Game 4. Matthews now looking for his 4th of the night. Matthews' little toe drag, nothing going there, so he pops it back out to Sanderson. Sanderson's going to try for his 7th. He does, and Sick hooks, and he misses well on the short side. Six Nations maybe looking to run some transition here as Rivera, nice little backhand dump to Cogan. Cogan tries to jam it 5-hole, but Mr. Downey says no way, and now the Northmen are off with Connor Lesky. Lesky pressured now. He's got to watch the over and back. He'll get it out to Shabbat. And now Shabbat will get it off to Matthews. And the Northmen have about 10 seconds to play with here, 5-on-5. Kruger coming around the top. He gets it over to Jennings. Jennings. And an ill pass there by Shirtlift goes right into the stick of Blaze Becker, the captain. And now Six Nations will have a turn with about a half shot clock remaining. Squire. Over to Hill. Or excuse me, Hamill. Hamill shoots, and that misses well wide, and that'll be over and back. Just under 4.5 remaining here in the second period, folks. It has been all Northmen here as of recent in the second period. Six Nations tied it up 7-7, and the Northmen have scored 4 unanswered. Matthews. He comes around the top. He's going to shoot. He does, and that's saved by Robertson. Looking for the ever-important offensive rebound is Matthews against Beckers, excuse me. And low cross-checks again by Bennett when Matthews didn't have the ball, so it'll be a reset for the Orangeville offense. Sanderson now. Looks like he's going to try Tall Chief in those pink shoes. Sanderson coming over the top. He's going to exchange it over to Thompson. Thompson now looking to go underneath. He bullies it in, and the stick just popped out of, or excuse me, the ball just popped out of his stick as he approached the net. And now the wooden stick of Sky will come into the offensive end, and he'll look to pass it off as he does to Hill. And Hill will carry low on the near side. He'll pop it back out to Squire, and Squire will get it to John Hill. John Hill across the top to Cogan. Always dangerous is the big body of Cogan. He shoots, and a great stick there by Matthews is on the defensive end right now, and a breakaway opportunity for the Northmen. Goes up to Lesky, and he'll just pull it out as Six Nations were covering well there. Lesky out to Matthews. Wonder if Matthews is going to stay and play. He won't, as he had just played both ends of the floor. And Shirtlift over to the back of the net here to Sanderson. Sanderson out to Thompson. 2 seconds remain. Thompson gets a shot there, trying to get a rebound. He did, but it was right into the stick of defender Wyatt Wiggins. Becker over to Lickers. Lickers always working so well with Hamill as those two find themselves on the near side, or excuse me, on the weak side. Hamill open for a moment, but that's well covered by Ron. And a nice shot there by Lickers. And now Evan Miller might have a chance as he is outrunning Hamill here. Evan Miller shoots, and a nice save there far side for Ethan Robertson. Evan Miller missed that breakaway earlier on in the game and has had a couple of opportunities here. He's all around it except in it. And hopefully the youngster rookie will eventually get one here. Lots of opportunities for number 9 in the white. John Hill here with it on the near side. He carries across the top. Hill now, he shoots. And he had goaltender Downey going the wrong way, but just couldn't hit his spot on the short side. Now we got a fast break here. Sanderson comes through, beats 2 men, and he'll pull it out wisely as he shakes off a woody chop to his left hand. Northmen in full control here. A nice pick here by Kruger. He finds himself in front, dips in, tries to go far side as the slide was coming hot and heavy. Missed the net, and that'll be a 30-second violation. I believe maybe the Orangeville's Thompson perhaps thought it did hit the net and he had more time than he did. Lickers with it on the near side for the Nations. Lickers sizing up his defense, defenseman Shabbat. Rivera getting well pressured there by Noble, and Noble causes a really good turnover there, as you don't find Rivera caught up too much like that, folks. So a really good job by 22 in white to cause the turnover, and now the Northmen will start with it with a full 30 in the offensive end. Sanderson starts with it. Sanderson working with Wilson on the weak side. Wilson, a nice little pick there. Tried to get the roll, but was held by the defender. Wily move there by Tall Chief to clutch and grab Wilson to disallow the roll. And now Thompson has it on the far side. He gets it into Shabbat, who just misses the pass. Tried to get it off, and it goes right into the stick of Captain Becker. And the Six Nation Arrows have called a timeout with only a 1-second discrepancy in the shot clock, and you gotta believe that they'll go 6-on-5 as Robertson is casually walking to the bench. A surprisingly cooler night here in the Tony Rose Memorial Sports Complex, as we found ourselves with some wildfire smoke from the north making its way through here, blocking out the sun and the heat. Nice little break from the heat, but pretty tough to breathe if you go outside, so. Well, while we're waiting for both teams to drop their last-minute defense and last-minute offense, I'll have a gander online. And let me see if I can get a little refresh on this. And it looks like the Oakville Buzz have a commanding lead over the Kitchener Kodiaks, 12-5 in the only other game in Ontario Junior A action. If you're wondering about the Ganawage Hunters and the Akwesasne Thunder game, it has been tied up 9-9. An absolute barn burner, says Chad Wilson, longtime viewer and friend of the broadcast. Hamill. Rivera, he gets knocked off his feet. A nice there, one-timer there. And no, a shot clock violation before the ball went in the net, so the referee calls off the one-timer there, and it will remain a 4-goal lead for the Northmen, 11-7 heading into the third period. Northmen in full control here, folks, but Six Nations, I'm sure, will have something to say about that when we come back in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. The conclusion comes next.
loose. Too many men on the floor for Ganawagi as they came out. And the ball goes loose into the goaltender, Delarmy. As being checked on the play was Albany. Delarmy was checked there by a couple of Thunder players. 6:38 remaining. Barrero with it, trying to get around the defense of Sideer. Sideer pulls off on him. There's Sunday with a shot, sidearm shot, up high, and goaltender Lahash with the save. Pass it up to Owen Rice, to Sugo Rice. Suganuna Guatsaloon is Rice on the far side, winding up, goes behind, picked off there by the Thunder, picked up there to Blaine Hobbs-Thompson. Here's a long lead pass for Karsten Mitchell. Can he get it? Yes. Mitchell coming in, shoots. Oh! And he just missed it going to the far side between that hole between the shoulder and the chest area of goaltender Lahash. He just got a piece of it. That's his second partial breakaway for Mitchell tonight. There's a shot on goal by Bucktu. Goes into the screened area. He'll get a full 30. 5:42 remaining, 9-9 to score here in period number 3. Glad you could join us. Elijah sets the pick. Elijah gets a pick and roll. It goes down. What a nice setup that was between Elijah and Sandin. They got to move the ball up. The Thunder lose control of the ball. They got to get it out within 8 seconds, and they don't do it. Picked up by the Hunters. Had all kinds of miscombobulation on that by the Thunder. 5:17 remaining. Next goal is crucial in this game. The Thunder defensively. Now Owen Rice being checked. Pass it back out. There's a shot that went high over the shoulder of goaltender Delarmy. There's another long shot. Low. Ball bounces. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Owen Rice trying to work his way in. He does. Shot on goal. Save. But Ganawagi will get the ball. It's loose. They get a fresh 30 seconds. They pass the ball back out. And there's too many men on the floor. Garrison doesn't call it as the players were in their restraining box area. Bucktooth Jr. with it. Passes over to Sandin. Now pass over to Rice, trying to swim move. He does. Shoots. Oh! Big save there by Delarmy. As Rice did the swim move and he smashes his stick across the floor. There's the ball's loose and the Thunder can't control it. They give it back. Picked up there by Ganawagi. I can't believe the Thunder are making such mistakes here late in the game. They've got to treat that ball like it's goal, because the next goal could be the winner. Hobbs-Thompson gets faked out. There's a shot. There's a rebound. Oh, and it went wide. Picked up there. It was wide open net for the Hunters, and a backhand shot went wide. The Thunder throw it away again. Oh, my. 4 possessions in a row. The Thunder have given the ball away. 3:39 remaining. There's a cross check there from behind from Rice on Murphy. There's a shot on goal. Save for Delarmy. The Thunder are tired on defense. They've been out there for about 3 minutes, and they've given the ball away. Trying to do a swim move, coming around. There's a shot on goal. Picked up there by Ganawagi again. There's another shot and a save. And the goal, no, it doesn't. It goes back to the Thunder. Hang on to the ball this time, boys. Boy, oh boy. Possession is crucial in a tie game, especially in the playoffs. With 3 minutes remaining and counting. Fawcett with it. He's being watched out front by Deere. Behind the net it goes. Trimble, they score! Alex Delarmy with his second slam dunk and dive. 10-9, the Thunder lead with 2:56 remaining. Off the face-off, controlled by Ganawagi.
number 44, Grayson Sunday. And number 5, Dean Clough.
Bothrop and Sunday get assists on it. Sunday get the primary assist again. Now Ganawagi with a fresh 30 comes into the zone. Owen Rice with it. First time Thunder's had the lead. There's a shot on goal. It's hit by the defense of the Thunder. Ball is down loose. And it's going to be a turnover. And the Thunder will take control. A goal on this possession will be crucial. There's the ball coming down to the Thunder into the corner. You can't see who that is. Now, it was River Porter coming back out to Tyson Sunday. 2 minutes and counting. 10-9. The Thunder lead. Being watched there by the defense. Sunday trying to move in. He does a swim move. Goes low. He's in the crease.
The winner of the 50-50, Lacey Paul from Ganawagi.
Lindsey Paul, the 50-50 winner from Ganawagi. Wonder if it's any relation to my cousin Peter Paul. Now, the Hunters with 1:30 remaining, looking for the tying goal. Owen Rice with it. Rice trying to cut his way in there. He's checked on the play. He's in the crease. He's in the crease, but it wasn't called. Plain as day, you can see it from our vantage point. Now the ball is loose, picked up by the Thunder. They will get the ball. They got to get it out in 8 seconds. Got to get it out. Got to get it out, boys. They pass it down the floor. They throw it away again. Oh my, I can't believe the Thunder are really pushing a panic button when they got to get that ball out in 8 seconds. Last minute remaining. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Ganawagi must score. Suggo Rice with it. Suggo back to Owen Rice. Owen Rice passes down the far side, descended. Owen Rice back to Albany. There's a penalty coming up. To Bet Bucktooth Jr. at the worst possible time. Oh, and he took down Jim McKinney with a wicked two-hand slash on the hips. They call it roughing, but there was a two-hand slash in there too. The Thunder will have 30 seconds on the shot clock. There's 44 seconds left on the shot clock. 10-9 for the Thunder. They can run this down and look for the best possible shot. So Sunday will stay out there, but Ganawagi's got to press the issue. Coming out is Jensen White to try to press the issue. It goes back to Sunday. Sunday to Delarmy down low. Delarmy will get it back to Sunday. They've got 10 seconds. Now they'll start moving around. Barrero with it, trying to get around Deere. Barrero with it, does a sun move, the shot on goal. And now there's going to be a timeout by the Ganawagi Hunters with 15.6 seconds remaining. Couldn't ask for a better game here at the Enola Go Arena. The Thunder had the lead early in the game. They had a 2-1 lead at 2:52 into the game. And then we take a look at when they got the lead 10-9. They got that with 2:56 remaining in period number 3. So it took them a long, long time to crawl back into a 3-goal deficit early in period number 1. They were down 6-3, 8-7 at the period number 2, but they clawed their way back to make it 10-7. Now Bladen Hobbs-Thompson is going to go all the way down into the empty net area. The ball would be picked up by Sandin. Sandin now. Sandin pushes off. 10 seconds remaining, counting. They've got to get a shot on net. The ball comes down to the right side. Owen Rice with it. He's being watched. Comes back up to Elijah with a shot on net. Saved by goaltender.
Welcome back, folks, to the third period of Game 4 here in the Ontario Junior A Lacrosse quarterfinal between your Orangeville Northmen and the Six Nation Arrows. Northmen had an unbelievable second period, scoring multiple goals to give themselves a 4-goal lead, 11-7 coming into the third. Let's see how this shakes out in the next 20 minutes. Here we go. Perry and Campbell face off now. As the third period gets underway, it looks like the Six Nations Arrows will have first possession. Rivera with it in his stick. He's going to get doubled here quickly as he tries to run through, and he'll safely get it out to Jimerson. Jimerson over to Squire. Squire gets it to Hamill. Or excuse me, Lickers. Lickers to Rivera. Rivera shoots. Looking for far side, but the rest will say reaching in the crease, and it'll be Northman ball. Evan Miller carries over half. Looking to pass it off so he can vacate the floor, and he's pressed there hard by Wiggins, and Wiggins causes a turnover and picks up the loose ball himself, and he's got some legs. Wiggins off to Porter, and Porter down here, and now Cogan handles the ball at the top. Cogan flashes underneath. He shoots, and nice arm save there by Downey as he looked sharp early here in the third frame. Here comes Shabbat. He passes off to Thompson, and Shabbat will stay in play. Thompson looking to avoid the pressure here by Barlow. Great defensive job there by Garlow. Now Sanderson with it in his stick. And it looks like there'll be an off-ball penalty called against the Northmen, I would assume, since they had possession of it. And it looks like Shabbat will head to the sin bin for 2 or less, as the Six Nation Arrows would love to get hot on the power play here to cut this lead to 3. Jimerson will quarterback this session of the Six Nations power play as Cogan works it out back to the top, and Six Nations will work it around the horn here. Jimerson now looking to have something going here. Rivera, Cogan. Cogan over to Hamill, back to Cogan. He's going to shoot. No, face dodge. He shoots, tries to go around the screen, but that's off of Cooper Campbell's leg and wide. Rivera now with some space, wide out. He's going to shoot. No, he's going to pass to Cogan. And it looked like Cogan stepped in the crease before he caught the ball, so it'll be Northman ball as they tried to kill 30 seconds or more off this penalty. Sanderson carries over uncontested. He's now harassed by Wiggins. And Matthews has the ball now. Six Nations just holding a man back. Nice cross-floor pass to Sanderson as he beats Porter underneath. He's going to shoot one, and that dribbles into the corner with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Jennings tries to pick it up one-handed, but he's fought off by Perry. And Cortez will run it over the floor and dump it off to Cogan. Cogan up to Jimerson as he waits for everyone to take their appropriate positions on the power play. Hamill down low to Lickers, back up to Hamill. Now Jimerson. Over to Cogan and Rivera. Rivera behind the net. And now Jimerson shot from the wrong side, and that's off the outside pad of Downey, and now Berman tries to fight 2-on-1 for it. And it looks like it went off the back meshing off of the Six Nations stick, so Berman will move it to his cousin Campbell, and he'll leg it over half. Thompson carries now. Wisely goes around the stick of the Six Nations defender to safely get it to Costigan here, as he is content just to wait on the far board, or near board side. Little shovel pass out to Thompson. Shot clock winding down. Thompson looking to shoot. No, he's going to get it over to Wilson. Wilson's going to take a distance shot. That goes off the midsection of defender Quinn Brennan. And I'm sure he'll feel that for the rest of the night and sometime tomorrow. Less than 10 on the penalty to the Northmen, and it looks like the Six Nations Arrows will shoot early, and Rivera with an open shot gets the stick free and finds the far side in the dying seconds of the Northern penalty, and the Six Nations power play finds the back of the net. Akwesasne duty-free replay as always. Nice little backhand pass there, and it looked like the body of Campbell is trying to take away that far side, but ends up being more of a screen for Rivera, and he finds it, just cuts it around the outside of Cooper Campbell and finds the far side of the net. Update on the Andrew Suter scandal here. He has apologized profusely to the boys, says we're doing great now, and might have something to do with his boys Jet, Tate, and Cade, who have been watching this evening, and I'd just like to give those boys a shout out. All beauties just like their father, and Andy, we love you, and Jet, Tate, and Cade, we love you guys too. And Mom Jenny Suits, we love you as well. Anyway, the Northmen collect this face off and go back to work here, trying to regain their 4-goal lead. Sanderson exchanges way across the top to Matthews. Matthews coming across. He's going to shoot one, and that's off the post right to Wilson. He comes in, tries to go 5-hole on Robertson, but Robertson somehow keeps that out of the net. A nice try there by Wilson on the rebound. He had lots of time, tried to pick a spot, but the big body of Robertson was able to come down before it crossed the line. Squire carries. Near side. He's guarded by Messier. Looks like Ron is trying to shut down. Oh, and a wonderful shot around Messier to the bottom right-hand corner by Squire. And now, don't blink, folks. The Six Nation Arrows have come in to cut the lead to 2. Watch this shot right around Messier. He tries to face dodge and then just comes out of that face dodge right around and just picks that bottom right-hand corner perfectly. And not much goaltender Downey can do on that shot, as the stick is hidden around the big frame of Captain Messier, and that finds the bottom hand corner. Now we got some time as the goaltenders are taking a sip, and Andrew Stoner, not Suter, but Andrew Stoner says that he wants me to give a big shout out to cameraman Jim for doing such a great job. Handsome devil that he is, and a face-off won by Cooper Campbell as he gets pushed out towards the half line, but doesn't go over. Braden Gilmore lobs it into Shabbat, who almost loses it off the glass, but gets his own rebound and now gives a tough pass to Sanderson, who easily handles that off the floor in a quick hop. 10 seconds remain on the shot clock. Matthews, he's going to shoot around a screen of his own. And a great save by Robertson. Offensive rebound to Sanderson, and the Northmen get to go again. Now the familiar faces on the offense come out the door, and the Northmen go back to work. Kruger, back to Matthews. Matthews trying to go underneath, toe drag. He's trying to turn the corner. Porter, a nice little shovel pass there to Shabbat, but a last effort there by defender Cortez disrupts the stick and messes it up for Shabbat, as he's been around the net quite a few times this evening and unable to get a decent shot off. Both teams playing their hearts out here tonight in Game 4. Kruger on the far side. He gets a little steam from Wilson. Back to Wilson. Wilson's got some space. He gets it over to Thompson, who gets a hard ball, but that gets into the hands of Matthew, and he's got less than 10 on the shot clock. A little whip over to Kruger, and he's going to try his own. Into Jennings, who's got it. Nice far side, top hand corner floater by Garen Jennings on a back cut. And what a move, and what nice silky sweet hands there by number 4 in white, Garen Jennings. Nice pickup here and a cross floor whip. Garen Jennings looking like he needs a haircut in his picture here, and he just gets a little backdoor cut. Tall Chief loses his man there, and Garen, nice and calm, catches that and just tosses it ever so slightly over the right-hand shoulder of Robertson, and the Northmen have regained a 3-goal lead. It is now 12-9 for the home team. Campbell just seems to be getting better at the draws as the game goes on, but the Six Nations Chiefs end up holding up Dylan Sanderson, pinning him against the boards, so it'll be Northern ball. Sanderson with it in his stick. Couldn't be a more confident player than number 19 in white right now, folks. He's got 6. Sanderson now with it. He comes across top, little toe drag, inside move. He tries to get one, a little high stick off the head there, no call, but it'll be an offensive rebound, and the Northmen will get a second crack at this as Max Kruger takes a second to redo his helmet, doesn't want to catch a penalty there or be sent off, so he's back on track. Half a shot clock left. Sanderson goes underneath, gets held, and that's an easy call for the referee, and it'll be over and back, and the Northmen will head back to their power play, which has been absolutely deadly tonight, as they are clipping at 100%. Akwesasne duty-free, as Sanderson is so good with his feet at faking going over top and flashing underneath, and even though Garlow had Harding covering him, he couldn't see him as he was tied up with Sanderson and just did a little bit extra, as Sanderson's been deadly tonight around the net. He didn't want to give him a chance. But out of the frying pan and into the fire as the Northern power play, as I said before, has been lights out this evening. Northmen working around. Matthews and Kruger play catch. And now they're on. Kruger to Matthews. Matthews is going to shoot. He was trying to go far side, but a nice pad save into the stick of Robertson sends it into the hands of Wiggins. Wiggins runs the floor. Wiggins gets it off to John Hill. And John Hill over to Jimerson as he has a one-on-one with Miller, but elects to pass out to Rivera. Rivera facing a double team now. He decides to put it over to Lickers, who comes across. Lickers ever dangerous, but a good double there by the Northmen. Great job there by Lickers to get a shot, which I thought was before the horn sounded, but the referee disagrees, and it'll be Northern ball. Northern looking to keep their power play streak going here tonight, an unprecedented 100% so far. Kruger, little backhand to Sanderson as he back wheels out and gets it back up from Wilson, and now back up top to Kruger to Matthews, who goes across. Another quick stick for Sanderson, but that pass is a little bit too high. Harding knocks him off the ball, but Jennings exit, 2 seconds left. Oh, and a beautiful try there as goaltender Robertson had taken quite a step out, and that quick stick by Matthews, had he have executed it, may have found the back of the net. Time running out here, and it looks like the Northern power play will not be perfect tonight, but they have been great nonetheless. Kogan looking to kill the final seconds of this power play off. He shoots a high one off the chest of Downey, and that pops out as a rebound comes to a 50-50 here as it's a scrum, and Northern, it's in the Northern stick, but now it's in the Six Nations stick. They get a reset, which is probably good for the Northern in this melee because they won't face the 8-second half rule. Ball is still loose on Six Nations time. And then it looks like the Six Nations Arrows may take a late penalty here. As the hand of Vandergiesen went up, I don't know if there's a call, and it looks like he is sending someone off to the box. It looks like that may be, it is Hill, yes. For a slash behind the play, as Vandergiesen called that, behind the Orangeville net. As great of a job as cameraman Jim is doing tonight, he says no way on that replay, ladies and gentlemen. And as far as I'm concerned, cameraman Jim can do whatever cameraman Jim wants. Wilson will quarterback this power play as Kruger moves to the crease, probably setting up a play for one of Orangeville's more prominent shooters as he moves his way back to the top on a rotation. Matthews into Kruger. Kruger's going to shoot one, and that had the goaltender going the wrong way, but he was able to get his stick hand down to send that into the meshing, and it'll be Northern ball. Sanderson will start it off as he pops it up to Kruger. And the Northman power play will work it around, trying to go behind the net, but that's cut off by the Six Nation defense, and here comes Sanderson now. Kruger, he's going to shoot another one, and that's on the other side, and another great save there by Robertson, getting the toe on that one with an athletic move. Porter And now to Squire. As we approach the halfway mark of the third period, ladies and gentlemen, the Northmen are 12, the Six Nation Arrows 9, looking to make it 10. Miller picks up the loose ball and rounds his own net as he pops it up to Costigan. And now the Northmen have just under a minute to play with here to try to capitalize on their power play. Shot clock running low now. Northmen are going to have to go quickly. Wilson up to Sanderson. Sanderson to Kruger. Kruger's going to shoot again. No, he won't. And back to Garen Jennings. Time running out. Dylan Sanderson scores! And that, I believe, is his 7th goal of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Dylan Sanderson, what a game. And he loves going into Coach's Corner there where they're shaking the glass, and they love it too. A bunch of slim shadies from the minor teams down there. As we can see the replay, he shows underhand, goes overhand, and Robertson standing right up. Sanderson is able to find the 5-hole and adds to his torrent pace this evening with his 7th of the night. It is 13-9 Northmen. So the Northmen with a 4-goal lead here halfway through the third period. But as we've seen in lacrosse many times, especially with this Six Nations team, very talented. Nothing is over yet. Far from it, actually, folks. And the Northmen will get to go right back to work here on a violation.
Number 4, Garen Jennings. Number 20, Max Kruger. Time on the goal, 10-22. Sanderson from Jennings and Kruger.
Kruger carries now, looking to go one-on-one. Passes over to Thompson, who gets it right back to Sanderson. Sanderson looking for Matthews. He shoots a quick one. And that's off a great stick of Ray Cortez to send the ball back over. And now the Six Nations Arrows are going to look to get back on the board. Rivera will fetch the ball in the near side corner as he carries up and snaps it across to Hamill, who gets it down to John Hill. John Hill carries. He's going to shoot. He misses short side. And that's right into the stick of Sean Costigan, and his Hill most likely leg it out, and he does. Little popcorn pass over to Dash Adams as he will wait for the Orangeville offense to come out and get it over to Jennings. Jennings down now to Wilson on his wrong side just to alleviate the pressure, and he'll dump it back off to Jennings. Jennings, the shovel pass up to Thompson, and he'll get it over to Matthews. Now in the stick of Shirtliff. Shirtliff across to Matthews. Matthews shoots over the pile, and that had the top corner label, but Robertson dashes out and gets his arm on it to stop the ball from hitting twine. Hill with it. He'll toss it off to Jimerson as Jimerson waits for the offense to come out, and now Rivera back to work. Rivera looking to go it all himself. He jumps in the crease, touches goaltender, and it looks like there might be a fight here with Rivera, and the referees say no way. Rivera's still wanting some. And now they're going to head to mid-floor, and Connor Lesky decides to take the advice of the referees, and Rivera has been more than willing to go, but the referees, D'Souza and Vandergiesen, have broken it up, and now the bench has some words for Rivera, and he's got to be careful as he's a big part of this Six Nation Arrows team to not take a penalty that might put him in jeopardy for next game. Assuming it'll be 2 minor penalties for the boys, even though they shed the mitts and hats. But we'll see what the referees congregate and say. As we can see here, it looked like they were ready to go, and the referee stepped right in the middle. D'Souza there. And it looked like they were going to head up to mid-floor for a little bit of a tussle as they both unwrap their knuckle sandwiches, but no one's eating tonight. You got to think that with a 4-goal lead here halfway through, or over halfway through the third period, that any of these fights could only do damage to the Northmen and help out the Six Nations Arrows. So it might have been better that they didn't go, but they'll both be in the box here, and that's a big loss for the Arrows as Rivera drives a lot of offense for them, and offense they need dearly right now here with just under 9 minutes remaining. Check the out-of-town scoreboard for everyone here. Bug McNutt with a nice words for me and cameraman Jim, saying that we're doing great tonight. I appreciate that, Bug. Glad you're watching from Oakville. Now the Orangeville faithful in Coach's Corner saying we want Messier. And it looks like they may have reached a final as it looks like there's no more live feed coming from the league. And it is 12-7 Oakville. Yeah. Unfortunately, as I said before in the cast, I'm getting a lot of questions about Sounds of Summer here, which I love to do with cameraman Jim, but unfortunately, yours truly has to get up early for fishing, so I'm going to stay off the hooch tonight. And unfortunately, they are cracking the beers before they give them to us anyway, so we can't do that anymore for the folks. I know how a lot of you love that, and so did I and cameraman Jim, but we'll have to put that to bed from now on. Perhaps next game, they'll let us crack our own up here on the broadcast for the folks at home. As everything gets sorted out here by referee Vandergiesen, GM Ryan Dowdle trying to get some clarification. Again, he's the guy across the floor there, sans hair, trying to clarify things. We'll see what the clock has to say. Looks like Six Nations will have the man advantage here as perhaps an extra 2 minutes to Orangeville, and as it comes up on the clock, that's what it shows. So it looks like a 2-minute Six Nations power play here, which they are sorely going to miss Mr. Rivera out there. Squire will take his place. Cogan to the top. And a nice pass there and a great save by Cole Downey to keep the ball out. Cogan plays catch with the left shooter. Hamill looking to get on the board here. Cogan shoots and a wonderful sidearm by Cogan. Off the post and in at the the left elbow of Cole Downey, and that was a no-doubter, ladies and gentlemen. A goal in any league. The Akwesasne duty-free replay, as Cogan just gets it, and Messier looking to jump, and he just jumps a little too late. As Cogan, ever dangerous from the outside with that booming shot, sends it right off the post and in. Moved the net back a couple inches on that one. And now Six Nations, capitalizing on their power play, have cut the lead to 3, 13-10 for the hometown. Cooper Campbell, outstanding in the face-off dot. We'll see how he fares against Perret here. Another win by Cooper Campbell as he sends it back to the goaltender. Goaltender down, he probably wouldn't have been back in, but he clears the crease just in case. And now Ron will go, and it looks like another penalty to the Six Nations Arrows is coming. I'm sure the Northmen will get their sixth man out and try to get as many offensive rebounds here as is the new rules of the Junior A. Well, new to this old dinosaur. As in my day, if you took one shot on the 6-on-5 delayed penalty, it was over. And Kruger scores from distance. No need for a power play here, folks. Kruger restores a 4-goal lead. It is now 14-10 with just under 8 minutes remaining. Akwesasne duty-free replay. As you can see the shot clock in the background winding down. There's Max Kruger's beautiful face. And just one step in from the restraining line, a worm burner fools Robertson. And that restores the 4-goal lead for the Northmen. Parker Thompson looking at his father, wondering if he should leave early. I say, no way, Jose. You're going to stay for the whole thing, Mr. Parker. We don't care how much hockey you got tomorrow. Northmen with another face-off, and they are in full control here in the back half of the game.
Northmen goal scored by number 20, Max Kruger. Assisted by number 26, Steve Mack.
Sanderson on the far side looking for his unprecedented 8th of the night.
756.
And as Wilson was taken down from behind by Kenny Porter, it'll be Northman ball once again. And it looks like we will have to stop the game for a floor wipe. Yeah. And an old Orangeville friend and Orangeville native Kevin Boyd, or K Boyd 3, they were all K's. Kevin Boyd says that his youngster Little Britain, or he's watching from Little Britain. He says, go Northern. Thanks for the support, Kevin. Appreciate that. Hope everything's going well up north with you and yours. Yeah. And the Northmen. Back 5-on-5. Wilson carries over to Matthews, and that just jumps out of his stick on the one-time chance. And now it's back with Wilson. Moving pick called there on the Northmen, and Porter's going to try to force his way in there and beat several guys. That's a hold, and it'll be a delayed penalty for Six Nations. Robertson slowly making his way to the bench to get on the sixth man and the offense. So Six Nations will have about 10 seconds to play with here, 6-on-5. Less now that they're waiting for their sixth man. 5 seconds remain in the shot. John Hill out to Kogan. He's always dangerous from the outside. They got to get on him, and he shoots and scores. And you got to wonder, the Northmen should be all over him. I know easier said than done from up here, folks, but Akwesasne Duty Free will show a nice seal there, but just a little late getting out to him, and anytime Kogan can get around that dotted line, he is dangerous with that shot, folks, and he finds an underneath alley there on Downey to cut the lead to 3. So no power play required for the Six Nation Arrows, just like the Northmen did. And with less than 7 minutes left in the game, our friends from Akwesasne, Butter and Parker, are leaving. Thanks for coming, gentlemen. Well, good to see you. Good luck, Parker, in hockey. We'll see you soon. Lickers with a loose ball. He gives it over to Penne and out to Becker, and that'll be over and back as that missed the net. So it'll be Northman ball, and that breaks a little bit of momentum of the Six Nations Arrows, and it looks like we're going to have to get another wipe, as is the worst part of having a concrete floor here in late July. Every time someone goes down, there's a wet slick on the floor that they have to clean up for safety reasons.
Northman penalty. Number 44, Tobias Wilson, 2 minutes for holding.
Yeah.
Time of the penalty, 6:48. Wilson, 2 minutes for holding at 6:48. Penalty was wiped out by the goal.
And I'd like to give a shout out to Lindsay's son Dylan, who's watching at home, and she texted me with some kind words about the broadcast. Says Dylan loves the job cameraman Jim and I are doing, so thank you, Dylan, for watching. We appreciate that. And as the minor Northern finish up their mopping, it looks like we'll get back to action here. Just over 6.5 minutes left in the third. Orangeville 14, Six Nations 11. Orangeville trying to add to that total. Shirtlift tries to get it across floor, but that goes right into Cortez's stick. He's washed down by Matthews. Cortez waiting for the offense to come out. He's spinning and trying to make something happen himself. He jumps it off there to Rivera, and Rivera gets it over to John Hill. Hamill now with it, always dangerous on the left side. Hamill waits, surveys. He's gonna shoot one. Nope, he's gonna clutch and grab, swim move, gets to the middle, but A slide is there and a high check by Sanderson. No call from the referees, much to the chagrin of the Six Nations faithful. Costigan gets over the floor. Now he's going to try to go to the net. No, he's going to peel out and try to kill as much of this clock as he can, which would be wise at this point in the frame. Kruger with it now. Tries to find Jennings, slide backside. He finds Jennings and he gets it back over to Wilson, who will get it over to Thompson, who rolls off his, and he's going to try to shoot one, but that's off balance. Good defense by Tall Chief to send that wide of the net, and it'll be Six Nations ball. Time running out for the Six Nation Arrows, but still enough time to score 3. Kogan with it. They got to get it on him as he's been hot lately. Kogan out to Rivera. He's looking for another. He's going to shoot from the wrong side, and that misses the net wide and heads to mid-floor, and that will be over and back. Or no, it was off the goaltender, I guess. So no over and back there, a reset for the Six Nations Arrows and an errant pass, but no damage done there as Squire collects it off the boards. Kogan again. They've got to be on his hands. Lickers, nice move to the inside. He shoots one, and that's blocked by Cooper Campbell, who's had quite a few blocks tonight, folks. Kogan shoots, that's right into the crest of Downey, and he has control now. Precious seconds tick off the clock for the Six Nation Arrows. Northmen looking to close this out to tie it going back Saturday to the ILA. Matthews carries. Wood stick on him. He's got to be careful of his fingers. Nice swim move there to get around the checker. Matthews looking to go underneath. He dumps it off to Jennings, who gets hit from behind. And now a hard pass by Sanderson to Matthews. He gets a high one, but no call there, as it was a no call on the other end. Cortez dumps it off here to Jimerson. Jimerson out to Kogan. Miller on Kogan. He's going to want to stay out high on his stick. Kogan again tries to shoot around Captain Messier, but he gets a piece of that and sends it wide. Dash Adams walking the dog behind the net. He gets it up to Miller, and the Northmen will go unscathed over half. Sanderson with it now. Looks like the Northmen are just fine with getting as much out of these 30-second clocks as possible. Six Nations defense doing everything to touch up the Northmen, as they should. As it looks like this series will be a little longer than maybe they hoped. Miller with a long shot. That misses the short side wide. Another shot there, gets it on net for a reset, and Thompson will go after the Six Nations defender, and Porter has some trouble with it, but he regains it and gets it off to Kogan. 3 minutes remaining here in the game. 14-11 for the Orangeville Northmen. Game 4 here in Tony Rose Memorial Sports Complex. John Hill with a nice little backhand there. A diving goal there by Lickers. A beautiful goal. No crease called. And we'll have to look on the replay here from Akwesasne Duty Free to see if his toes maybe touched the white. Doesn't matter now, as the ref has called it a goal. Nope, it looks like his legs were clear. And a beautiful dive around Berman to go far side over the shoulder of Downey. Very nice goal there by Mr. Lickers. And as I said, now things get interesting, folks. 2:51 remaining in the game here, or maybe not, as Six Nations is making a late period push here as they close the gap to 2. 14-12 for the home team. Perret and Campbell squaring off in the face-off dot. Campbell has had the better of Perret and anyone else the arrows could throw at him, excuse me. And we'll see how this one goes. Illegal procedure by Perret, and he is upset with referee Vandergiesen, but he gets off the floor nonetheless, and it'll be Northern ball, allowing them to take precious seconds off the clock, unless they can get a turnover here early. And it looks like that's what Wiggins is trying to do on Sanderson. Sanderson pops it back out to safety to Kruger. Sanderson always getting the extra little whack from the Six Nations defense, as he has been hot as a pistol tonight here, folks, and he'll move it out to mid-floor to Matthews, as the Northmen are just trying to take seconds off the clock here to lessen the chances of Six Nations coming back here. And a loose ball push there. A nice loose ball there, picked up by Thompson. Will he score? No, he goes to the net and gets absolutely trounced. And referee D'Souza calls a loose ball push a late hit on Thompson, and it'll be back in the hands of the Northmen with 2:15 remaining here in the third period. Excellent shot there by Thompson late in the shot clock just to hit the post. Create a 50-50 loose ball that he ends up coming with a very difficult one-hander. And he pays the price for the Northmen to kill another 30 seconds here. Arrows desperate to get the ball back here as they double team the ball. Out to Matthews to safety. Matthews just waiting outside. And he moves the ball now to Thompson. Thompson underneath. He's looking to come over top. Good steal there by Costigan to allow him some space. Thompson with the ball still. 5 seconds remain. Over to Matthews, but that goes wide. And the Northmen will look to just throw that. And I guess someone ran through the crease. So it'll be Six Nations ball at half. 1:40 remaining here in the game, possibly. Six Nations desperately need a goal on this possession to give themselves a chance for the comeback. John Hill over to Cogan. Cogan to John Hill. He'll shoot. And that just misses narrowly. As it is a reset. And Nations will get to go again here. Tick-tock for the Six Nation Arrows. John Hill, he's got an opening. He shoots. And a great shoulder save by Downey when the Northmen need it most. And there's 1:16 remaining here. Still a 2-goal margin for the home team. And Six Nations throwing everything they can at Downey 6-on-5. Hill again, he shoots. Nice little bouncer short side, and he scores to bring the Six Nations Arrows within one. And don't blink, folks. We've got just over a minute here, and the home team has a 1-goal advantage. Akwesasne duty-free replay as they get the replay off the boards here, and it looks like just a nice inside seal there and a nice casual shot. You got to love how John Hill shoots the ball. He doesn't put a lot on it, folks, but he just feathers it into the spots that he sees on the net, and that time it was a nice side arm, pulled back short side bouncer on that fools Downey. And we are right back into the thick of things here late in the third period. Campbell wins the draw to himself, a 50-50 loose ball, and now it's in the hands of the Northmen again, and they're able to hopefully kill some precious seconds off the shot clock. Swim move there. Ball is loose. Handball called, and it'll be Six Nations ball with just under a minute left here in the third period. Timeout called by the Six Nations Arrows, as they'll have about 25 seconds left on the shot clock here with 53 seconds in regulation. Well, we have been treated to 4 pretty good games here in the opening quarterfinals of the Ontario Junior A Lacrosse playoffs. And I think you'd have to give this game the best of them all. It's been back and forth all night with leads exchanging. 1 goal here, 2 goals there, 4 goals here, 1 goal here. And it has been nothing but action back and forth for both teams. The highest scoring total of the series tonight, with a total of 27 goals on the board. Will there be one more for Six Nations? Six Nations faithful in front of me sure hope so, and the Northmen crowd are holding their breaths to hope that the defense and goaltender Downey can get this done and close this game out to tie up the series 2-2. Here we go, do or die for the Arrows. Cogan, of course, at the top with it. Northmen are going to have to respect that shot, as well as, well, pretty much every shot of the Six Nations Arrows, as they are a talented shooting group. Nations moves it around. 15 remaining in the shot clock. Rivera crosses his body to the far side, and a great save by Downey, as that looked like it had eyes for the far side, but he was able to close his arm and catch it in the armpit. And now the Northmen are going to have to evade the pressure of Six Nations, and they tick as many seconds off the clock as they can. And they call their own timeout to get a ragging crew of 5 out there. And a discrepancy of about 8 seconds between the remaining 23 on the shot clock and the 31.5 on the official clock here at Tony Rose Memorial Sports Complex. So even if the Northmen do If the Northmen are able to kill all 23 seconds of this, it'll still allow the Six Nations Arrows to head up the floor with about 8 seconds. So even though it looks improbable, it is not impossible for the Arrows here. And I believe they've already taken their time out of the period, so they won't be able to call another. So they'll have to go right away, as I'm sure they've been instructed by their coach. Here we go. The final 31.5 of regulation. Will it be all we need to end this game? Kruger with it now as Sanderson gets thrown down to the ground again. Bounce pass over to Matthews as the Northmen are just trying to work it around as they are having great success doing. Thompson with it now. He comes over, beats the pressure with his feet, and gets it over to Kruger. Kruger's going to have an opportunity. He shoots, he scores! And you got to believe, as he splashes into coach's corner, that this 2-goal lead will be enough with 12.3 seconds left in the game for the Northmen to tie the series up at 2 and head back to Six Nations on Saturday with a best 2 out of 3 remaining in this quarterfinal. What a game here, folks. As we see in the replay, Kruger has a wide open section to come down. He takes a hit or two, buries it, loses his stick, and does the dive into the glass to a raucous coach's corner in behind there with our minor team in behind the net. And as I was looking at the replay and gathering my excitement, it looks like referee D'Souza has given a delay of game penalty and perhaps a game misconduct to a Six Nations player as he touched his hips, which would indicate a game misconduct. And all the extracurriculars are going on the Northman side as the Six Nations Arrows have loaded up against the Northmen. And now it looks like a power play, so the Northmen will be able to just get their defensive 5 out and kill the ball. Or excuse me, it was a... Or yes, it'll be Northman ball, and they'll just pass it back as the Six Nations Arrows will try to get down and get a couple licks on, but it is tossed down the length of the floor, and as the time ticks down, Cortez will throw it down, but to no avail. And the Northmen, with an absolute barn burner here, and Tony Rose on a Thursday night, tie the series to head back to Six Nations, 2-2, 15-3, the Orangeville Northmen. And the series is on. Glad you could join us here, folks, and we'll see you Saturday. What a series, what a game.
Arrows 12, 3 Brennan, 10 minutes.